Good morning. It's now about 7:30 in the morning on Saturday the 9th of April. I'm Andy and this is my allotment. Welcome back. I've actually got a bit to show you this week. I've actually been down here and done some work for a change. But we'll quickly show you what's been going on. Now, if you remember at the bottom here, these 4 beds, I'm going to be putting all my strawberries in. I've got the fabric across the back. Now this bed was full of raspberries, blackberries, etc. They've all been dug out, as you can see, and I've put a load of compost on top. I'm now going to cover it with fabric, as I have on the other side. Then I'm going to cut through the fabric, or burn through the fabric if I can do it, and plant my strawberries into here. I've got loads of strawberries waiting to go in, and eventually it's going to look something like that, but hopefully a little bit neater. When I planted these out, I cut crosses into the fabric and peeled it back, which is great, but as you can see from here, it frays quite badly. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to melt a hole through there with an old tin, which I'm going to heat up in a fire, and try and get through. Now I've tried once, and I tried a little chef's blowtorch. It didn't get to the required temperature, and if it did, it only heated one tiny bit of the can rather than the whole can, so I couldn't do it. So what I'm going to try and do today, I've got a couple more different burners I'm going to try, a couple of camp kitchen type things, and I'll see what I can do with those. I may end up just having to resort to cut through in the end, because I've got to get these planted this weekend and get them out of the greenhouse and off the table, because as you can see, the table over there is rather full of strawberries. I must have 50 strawberry plants on there, so I'm going to be busy. Now the stuff that's come out of there, in these buckets or tubs, as a temporary measure, is where I've put the blackberries. Well, I'm presuming these are blackberries anyway, because I didn't label them last year because I was stupid, but they've got thorns on, and none of my raspberries have got thorns at this sort of level, so I'm assuming these are blackberries. If they're not, I'll find a home for them, but I think they're blackberries. Anyway, the rest of them I've finally managed to get in this bed. Now, as you can see, we have quite a lot here. So lots of quite strong canes here. I'm not sure what variety these are, because, as I say, I bought them as raspberries, and it's yeah, I did buy them as raspberries, sorry, and some as red currants I bought, and they all turned out to be raspberries. So there's a few in here. We shall wait and see how they go. But again, I've just topped this bed up with a bit of compost. There's a special deal at the moment on our local big box DIY store. If you get 2 packs of 125 litres of compost, you get it for £10. Normally it would be £14 for that. So quite pleased with that. Anyway, I'm going to stop it here for now. I'll come back and show you a little bit later what's going on in the greenhouse, and when I've finished off down here, I'll come back and show you the end result. I've also got to sort out my hanging baskets today. As you can see, they're quite tatty. They really need just pulling out, everything tipping out and starting again. Especially that one, the hanging one, has just demolished itself over the winter. I've had it for years. The strawberries I didn't need taking out, disposing of, because they've been in for about 3 or 4 years. And you're supposed to have them about 3 years. Oh, while I'm down here, I'll show you the rest of the fruit. The rhubarb is doing really well. I showed you it last week, and it was just peeking out the ground at the far side, and this one was doing quite well. This one's doing now fantastically, and the rest of them are pretty good, and the ones that are peaking are going quite strong. So we'll be having rhubarb for tea soon. Anyway, like I said, pause it now and speak to you again later. Bye for now. Okay folks, now we're in the greenhouse. Show you a little bit of what's going on. The courgettes are doing fine at that side, and some of my orange banana vine tomatoes are doing pretty good on this side, getting the second leaves on all of these. Nearly ready for transplanting out, but I'll show you in a moment. I'm a bit eager at doing that, perhaps a bit too eager. Now, you remember before, I transplanted loads and loads of cabbages into these cups. Now, I was looking at them, I think I was doing it a little bit too fast, because most of these are dying, or have died. I think I just transplanted them too quickly. They weren't ready for coming out. They were still on the first leaves. Not a problem really, because I have got more, But as you can see from these, some of these look like they've been scorched already. Now, we did have temperatures recorded in the greenhouse up to 36 degrees last week, so maybe that's what's happened. But I wouldn't have thought they'd have got scorched this time, but they have. So now giving these a bit of TLC. Some of them are doing fine, like at the top there, there's a little pocket doing quite nicely. I'm going to if I have to sow more, I have to sow more. It's not the end of the world. So, you know, learn from my mistakes, folks. Don't transplant things until they're ready for it. Normally when they've got two of their original, their full leaves, not the seed leaves. I didn't wait long enough. Now all the tomatoes I planted on the 12th of March are mostly coming up. The one at the end, Craig Ella, nothing at all from them. But I've got everything from all the rest, from the cherry tomatoes, the pear tomatoes. So Tigerellas, all of them. That's doing really well. Now at the back, these were planted on the 3rd of April. The first three cells are rocket, but for some reason I've only got rocket in one of them. I'm not sure whether I planted it and didn't water it enough, or whether I didn't put anything in there. I'm going towards it, I didn't put anything in there. I thought I was going to put a whole box of rocket, and I don't think I did it. That's what comes of my age, I'm sure. Then behind it I've got some watercress, some red giant mustard, some broccoli rabe and some pak choy going nicely. And the end box has got spring onions in, and nothing coming through on the spring onions. They were an old packet, so maybe the seeds weren't viable. Not sure. Nothing coming through on the shallots as at the moment. However, on this lot I have got a couple of choy sum coming through, and I've also got one Chinese cabbage coming through, I think it is. Yeah, Chinese cabbage. So not doing too badly there. We'll just see how we do. Under here in the herbs, got some garlic chives coming through here, and pumpkins coming through. Now that is a small sugar pumpkin, which I'm hoping to grow up a trellis, and behind that is Atlantic Giant. Nothing showing on those yet, but it's early days. Put the lid back on. Now, oops, underneath here we have got some dill coming through quite strongly. Nothing on the lemon balm, and nothing on Russian tarragon at the moment. Then under here, again, some more cabbages which are planted after the others, which hopefully will be doing better, but there's a couple of those looking pretty weak. I shouldn't have moved them when I did. It's my own fault. Again, under there, kale at the back doing okay, because that was quite strong plants when I put them in. At the front, cabbages which are going off. Sweet corn, no sign of anything moving yet. Strawberry plants doing really well. Out of the 2 dozen there, I think I've only got 3 or 4 that haven't survived the winter. Garlic doing really well. Now the ones on the right were planted at exactly the same time as the ones on the left, and look at the difference. I don't know whether it's because that side gets more sun, or what, I really don't know. And then nothing coming from the herbs at the back. These lettuce and the chilies on the peppers on the other side need to be sorted out. I'm going to get those into individual modules today to grow on and get a bit stronger before they go out. And then up there we've got some Blue Lake climbing beans. Again, the ones on the left are doing better than the ones on the right, whereas down there it's the ones on the right we're doing better than the ones on the left. So not sure why, but they're all coming up strongly. On the left I think there's only 2 out of the 32 that haven't fired. On the right there's probably about 8 or 9 out of the 32 haven't fired yet, but because they're slower in developing, then it could simply be that they're just not ready yet. But anyway, lots going on in the greenhouse. Loads of stuff planted up, loads and loads of seedlings everywhere. It's looking good for spring. I'm really looking forward to it. I think I must be more prepared this year than I ever have been before, which doesn't say much, to be honest, but I'll come back to you later and again tell you what's been going on. Bye for now. Okay folks, now welcome back. It's now about 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, and I've been busy. As you can see, I've got some strawberries in on that side. Got 2 dozen strawberries in total, some of which came from this year's crop at that end. That's 18 I got from Aldi or Lidl, wherever I got them from. I can't remember. Lidl I think it was, earlier this season. And I've got 2 dozen to go in here, or actually 2.5, I think it's 32, something like that. And as you can see, my little experiment with the hole maker is working. So all I've done, put a tin on the end of a stick, put a couple of screws in the bottom to keep it steady, and got a camp stove. Just simply put the tin on the camp stove just for a short time, just enough to get it nice and hot. When it starts to steam, it's ready. So around about now, and then you simply place it on there. Perfect circle. The problem is it only does 2 at a time because it runs out of heat. And sometimes it doesn't go all the way through like that. But it works. These circles aren't going to fray because they're cauterized on the edges, they're burnt in. And so hopefully they'll be better than these, which although they worked, look a mess. They're tatty and starting to fray, and things can get underneath and get around the corners and such. So overall, I'm very pleased with my little tin, and it works wonderfully. I did try and heat it up before with like a cook's blowtorch, which I've got here, which wasn't hot enough and it wasn't heating all of it at the same time. So got this off Free Cycle yesterday, and I needed one anyway down here, and this is absolutely brilliant. So it's working wonderfully. Okay, I'll come back in a little moment and I will show you the end results once everything's in. Bye for now. Hi folks, it's about 20 minutes since I made the last clip when I was finishing off the strawberry bed, and as you can probably hear, the rain started. Now this is typical Manchester weather, I suppose. We had lovely sunshine this morning, we had quite nice weather until about 2 o'clock. It's now about 3 o'clock and we've got rain. So I'm sheltering in the greenhouse for a little bit, just to wait it out for maybe 10-15 minutes. I'm down here anyway, I might as well hang on for a little bit and see how we do. I did finish off the strawberry bed. I've got all the holes in, but there's no plants in, so I'm hoping to get those finished today. But if not, I'll do it tomorrow. I'm down here tomorrow with grandson Jack, and hopefully we'll get something done then. Not much else to say apart from rain stop play at the moment. Speak to you all later. Bye for now. Hi folks, a quick update on the weather, which as you can hear is not getting any better. We did have a break in the weather and I got out and managed to get 22 strawberries in the ground. Only 10 more to go, so I'm hoping this gives up, but let me just turn you around and show you what's happening outside. As you can see, we've got torrential rain, there's hailstones coming down. I don't know if you can see this properly, but the roof is covered with ice. I've had that much hailstone coming down. I really don't know if I'm going to be able to get out and plant anything else today. So if I do, I'll show you. If not, I'll show you in the morning. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll speak to you again later. Oh, sorry about that. Bye now. Hi folks, welcome back. It's now just before 8 o'clock on Sunday morning, which is now the 10th of April. As you can tell, overnight we had quite a hard frost. It was raining hard last night, we had hailstones, etc. But when I went home, it's still 4 degrees, so I didn't expect this. I'll just take you like down here. As you can see, these frames here got hammered with ice last night. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, the sun is up, it's a glorious morning. I'll just show you the sky. Hardly a cloud in the sky. Really, really nice. But it's -1 at the moment. So the ice on here, as you can see, we got hammered quite hard last night. And this frame was collapsed anyway, but it's still got quite a lot of ice on it, which is quite amazing really for this time of year. Then again, they say you shouldn't expect frosts. Sorry, you should expect frost right the way through till May. Cast not a cloud till May's out, is what they say. So I'll give you a quick show of what I did yesterday, where I got up to, and yeah, put my strawberry plants out, and unfortunately they all got covered in frost. Now, some of these actually had flowers on, so those flowers are not going to bear any strawberries whatsoever. The centre of the flower will go from yellow to black, which is an indication it's been frosted and they won't give any strawberries at all. So, before the rain came last night, I managed to get quite a bit in, down to that marker. That's 22 strawberry plants. Got space for another 10 at the bottom there, which I haven't put in yet. I'm going to wait for the sun to come up and melt all this ice and this hailstone first of all. As you can see, it's starting to do that already, before I continue with these. I've got plenty of plants ready to go in, and plenty left over. I'll just show you what I've got to. All these are strawberry plants which were taken out of the ground before I put the actual, dug all the stuff out, put more compost in, etc. Then I've got 10 or so plants there ready to go in, and got more on the table there. These on the table are spare, so I'm going to be giving those away to people on the plot today if they want them. They've had frost before, they've had snow before here, so there shouldn't be a problem. And again, just an indication of how much rain came down. That was grass yesterday. We've now got a swamp. Now, while I'm down here, I'll show you the pond and hopefully the tadpoles. Now, it's going to be very cold in there at the moment, so they won't be moving, but we have lots and lots of little tadpoles in there. When the water warms up, they'll be swimming around and they'll come and gather at the edges where the black plastic is, because that will then get a bit of warmth for them. But at the moment they're staying all clustered together for warmth. But I have tadpoles, which is the first time in a couple of years, I think, because last year all the eggs were eaten by newts, and the year before I got some but not very many, because again the newts took most of them. But the newts don't seem to be doing very much this year for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe they weren't enough tadpoles for them last year. Well, whatever. Anyway, I'll come back to you later and show you the final bit of the strawberries. Bye for now. Right, welcome back. It's now Wednesday evening, which is the 13th. So it's 3 days since I last did a video, last update. This is the first time I've actually had a chance to get down and film. Either the weather's been lousy, it's been raining, it's been dull, it's been horrible, or it's just not had time to do anything about going down. It's just been one of those things. The weather forecast for today was thunderstorms, and we've had a glorious day. Unfortunately, I've been in work. But, as you can see, the final bit of the strawberry bed was completed. I got that in on the Sunday, but I wasn't able to film it because I just got stuck inside all the time. Couldn't do anything about it. But they're all in. Now, as I was saying before, because we had the frost the night before, the flowers that were on the strawberries I'd put in the ground wouldn't give any fruit. Now, the way you can tell that, I'll just zoom in on these if I can. Now, you see in the centre there, they're black. Now that's an indication. I've got some there as well, and one there. If you can see the centre of the flower being black, that's an indication it's been frosted, and you're not actually going to get any fruit from it. So there were a few strawberries that were forced, I would believe, so they could be sold, so they looked good on the shelves. Not too bothered about that. Plenty of time to get more on them. There's only about half a dozen plants in here which have got strawberry flowers, which have been, as I said, frosted. So it's not a major problem. So I shall leave it at that now. I just wanted to get this last little bit in to finish off the week's video. Thanks to everybody for subscribing. I do appreciate it. It is much appreciated. All the comments I get, I do reply to every comment. If you haven't subscribed already and you like what you're seeing, please hit the subscribe button and come back and see me. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next video. Bye for now.